Hello, my name is Natalia Valle, CEO and co-founder of Plant on Demand. 30 farms close every single day due to lack of profitability, and this is only Spain, but the problem is shared across the whole world. We have found two factors contributing to this problem. First, there is a lack of digital tools adapted to these small farmers, which makes them really inefficient and unable to compete against the biggest ones. And second, they work in a very atomized ecosystem. This means that they're very isolated and they're unable to reach economies of scale because of the small size. This problem is especially pressing, knowing that only in Europe there is more than 10 million small farms, of which 500,000 are organic. And in a context where the organic food consumption is constantly growing, but yet these small local organic farmers are not getting to this profit. So here's the $1 billion question, which is how do we connect local farmers with consumers in a way that is efficient and sustainable? Well, we found the answer, and this is through technology and cooperation. At Plant on Demand, we have built the first all-in-one management and collaborative sales platform for organic farmers. We provide an all-in-one management tool for farmers to be able to manage online their sales, their payments, the invoices, traceability, and even the logistics, saving up to 2 days of work a week. This platform also allows them to create their own online store in less than 15 minutes without any knowledge in technology. And lastly, our Food Hub tool, where farmers can find and cooperate with other farmers and together as a unified force, sell to larger clients, like for example, schools or hospitals that they couldn't sell individually because of its small size. This way, they cannot only find larger clients, but also centralize logistics and reach economies of scale. At the moment, we are having an impact on over 300 producers who are able to work collaboratively and sell more and better. We have an impact on 20,000 daily menus of people that are eating fresh, seasonal, organic, and local. And we are working with 120 schools full of kids that are eating finally healthy. We are a SaaS platform where the farmer or the group of farmers pay for the use of the platform, the technology. And thanks to our community and the great connections we have there, we are forecasting large and intense growth in the next years. We are not a marketplace, we are the technology that is behind a marketplace. It's important to note. So we closed our last investment round this December. We are forecasting to reach break-even this year and go international next year. We're really well accompanied with our investors, impact investors, and with my team. 11 people working full-time. This is the sales and management team and the tech team, who has a lot of experience in successful tech startups. And we are all united for the very same vision, which is to foster local and organic food production through technology. We work for them, for the health of the planet, and for every living being on it. This was Plant on Demand. Thank you.
All right, Q&A.
I was wondering if you could explain a bit more about your scaling, because I think one of the tricky things here is all these independent farmers have all their own ways. How do you automate that?
How what?
Like
last bit?
So the scaling, like how do you bring them on? How is your process, the logistics and everything behind it, that you make sure that from deliveries and quality and product is all,
Yeah. So it's important to note that we're not a marketplace. So we don't do any logistics or other operations for the farmers. We just provide them with the technology for them to do it. So we go to marketplaces or to groups of farmers like Food Hubs who work already together or who want to work together, but they don't have the technology to make it scalable, to grow, and to make it in an efficient way. So the platform only provides like the technology basis for them to do all this work, but we don't enter in the logistics or anything. So we're a SaaS platform. We just provide technology like a mix between like a Shopify and an ERP or a traceability platform. The other question about scaling, the way we grow is basically through community. So we don't go directly to the farmers, but we go to the community that is around the farmers. So for example, the regional governments, the regional NGOs, foundations, rural associations, and we work with them. They know us already, most of them in Spain at least, and our strategy is at least at the beginning to establish in Spain, and once this is very established, which we forecast it will be in the next 2 years, will go internationally with, again, the community strategy. I think there's another question there.
How do you approach your buyer? Because if you're not a marketplace, first you have to approach them and they're very atomized, and someone has to adapt so they can use your software. So how do you approach that?
Yeah. So as I was saying, we approach them through their community. So we basically go to the, say, local NGO or the local regional government that works there and wants to develop and improve the connection between the farmers and their population, or they want to maybe unite the farmers that are working in the very same village or valley, but they are really not able to sell their products. So we go to these groups that are already formed and to the top of these cooperatives or these NGOs or associations, and we work with them, and these are the agents who then kind of promote the technology to all their members. This is probably the best way, because also farmers are not really keen into technology, so you need someone that they trust to convince them to use the technology.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, moving right along. We've talked about farmers, now we're going to talk about chickens. Yes, this next startup makes eggs without chickens. Well, they make egg protein without chickens. Their name is Onego Bio. They're from Finland. And the pitcher is Maija Ikonen, the CEO and co-founder. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. Great to be here tonight with you. My name is Maija Ikonen. I am CEO and co-founder of Onego Bio and a disruptive egg farmer. So, egg is such a wonderful ingredient. It was invented 300 million years ago by the Mother Nature, and it's everywhere in our food system. But this is the dilemma. The current way of producing eggs is fragile and inefficient. But because of the very special functionalities, it's really difficult to replace eggs with substitutes. So if we cannot substitute it, what to do? We need a better way for producing the real egg protein. And this is exactly what Onego does. So with our method called precision fermentation, that is a process similar to brewing, we can reach 10 times higher efficiency. Let me show you how. So we have this super hungry fungus called Trichoderma ricii. We feed it with glucose and nutrients. And because we have trained it to produce our proteins instead of its own proteins, as a counter gift, it gives us pure ovalbumin. And the whole process is fully circular, as side streams can be utilized across the value chain. Our product called bioalbumin is a bioidentical protein that has the same characteristics, both from functional and nutritional perspectives, and we can produce it with price parity because of our great technology. And from the manufacturer's viewpoint, the best thing is that it wipes off the supply chain problems and has a 90% lower environmental footprint. Here is our product in action. And the most revolutionary part, we haven't invented anything new. So at Onego Bio, we believe the best innovations make use of existing technologies in new ways. So we have taken this technology that is used for making enzymes and medicines and leverage it in this new application. We are a spin-off from a research institute, VTT, from Finland, where experts, such as my CTO and co-founder, Chris Landowski, have been studying this technology for decades already. At the moment, we are already working with some of the best and biggest food manufacturers of the world, and we'll be serving the same beloved protein, but without the pure efficiency and environmental impacts of the animal proteins. So soon the world won't even remember that eggs used to come from animals, because we know a better way. Thank you. Thanks. Yes.
Q&A.
Oh, yes, Q&A, of course.
Hey, great job. Can you talk a little bit about your distribution model?
Sorry, where? Oh, yeah, there. Okay, yes. Hi. So we are fully B2B at the moment, and the reason for that is that these food manufacturers are really, really eager to get this product on their products. So this ingredient is really needed, and we are just doing everything possible to kind of like have it fully suitable for their processes. And maybe in the future there could be also some consumer products, but at the moment the full focus is on the B2B ingredient.
Great, thanks.
That's very fascinating. So, how far away are you from actually getting this into, your suppliers, B2B?
Yeah.
And how much capital do you need to do that?
Yeah. So the company has so far raised about 15 million euros. And we are now raising again. So biotech, of course, is not very cheap, but we are very capital intensive. So this is really, we're very effective in that sense because we already have this ready technology from the institute. But yeah, we are already producing next year. So we are going to be first producing with the contract manufacturers, and then in a few years we will have our own factory.
Much.
Yes, thank you.
Our third picture is going to be Build 38. Build 38 is from Germany, and they provide mobile application protection solutions. They protect mobile apps from known and unknown attacks. Join me in welcoming the CEO, the COO, and co-founder, Joaquin Fernandez.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joaquin, and welcome to Build 38, the security solution for mobile services. Do you know how much time does the people spend using their mobile phone? Every day on average, it's 6.5 hours a day. That means that almost everything either can be done or is done with a mobile phone or a mobile application. The mobile applications has become an indispensable part of today's life. But that doesn't mean that we know as a user or as a company that is providing these applications that these are secure or are running on a phone that is not malicious or not manipulated. In fact, 3 out of 4 fraud cases usually start on the mobile device. And 73% of the apps in the App Store are currently either malicious or has a major security leak. But we cannot blame the companies that try to bring a new mobile application into the market protected by themselves to fail on that, because it's really, really complicated to achieve it. And a proof point of that is that usually free intents is what financial institutions, application providers need before they can pass the certification. And also, 7 out of 10 are failing in the healthcare application when they first try to pass the security part. But let's put some numbers on what does it mean to have a fraud in this case. For the business, the average is currently almost 4 million a fraud case that is currently happening in the business for them. And the global mobile app fraud last year was 5.4 billion. And that's why we are here. Because we have a mobile security solution that is fast to integrate, that is easy, always up to date, and that works in every phone. In fact, we slashed the development and certification time by 60% of the time. We're running 99% of the phones right now in the market, and we ensure that it's always up to date based on our continuous threat monitoring and global footprint. We have a SaaS model, a business model that helps to compete with our main competitors, either traditionals or new ones. And we, as Build 38, were born in 2018 with that purpose, to protect the applications. We have right now more than 50 customers in 3 main continents, and we have offices in Munich, Barcelona, and Singapore. Currently, we are protecting more than 200 million devices, and in February this year, we raised 13 million round CSA, one of the biggest in Spain. We are Build 38, not 49, not 42, 38, and has a main purpose. So if you want to know why these 2 numbers are magic for us, just please talk to me and I will fully explain you. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Q&A.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation. I'm here. Yeah.
Sorry.
I would like to know which are your main competitors and why your product is better than the ones that they can offer right now.
Yeah. So there are two different type of competitors, and also we have two main differentiators. So we have the ones that are traditional in the market that also has focus on only application protection with no connectivity to server, not being able also to charge per user. So we help, in this case, SMEs to be able to, or capable to afford this type of security because they charge per one application a big bunch of money and they cannot scale. And then also we have the other ones that usually came from the backend parts. They just grab an application and they charge based on users, but it doesn't feel or can support a lot of the new use cases with high security that is required, that is capable for acceptance payment, that is required for AI DAS. So basically we are, in the middle. We can cover SMEs, but also big corporates that has these needs.
Hi, thank you so much. I was wondering at what process of the development you come in, of the app development, and also how are you acquiring these developers?
Okay, so we usually, or our main customer in this case, buying persona, is the P&L responsible. In the case of small companies, usually CTOs. In case of bigger corporates, usually is the responsible of the mobile division. We help them basically because they have the problem of usually going for certification or having a fraud case or these kind of scenarios. And that's where they enter. We can easily integrate in an app in 3 minutes. We are thought to be working on let's say, on design. That's the best use case. But of course, we cover a lot of the other cases. Sorry.
Hi, thank you very much. Can you elaborate on the extent to which you're providing a specific product that you have built for security to each client versus more customized solutions based on each client's respective needs? And if it's currently more the latter, how that affects scalability?
Well, this case, it's protecting more applications. We usually it's a toolkit, let's say. So we have a bunch of techniques that is being combined, and they can use whatever they need. Okay, so that's why we are saying that we are much flexible to cover these cases that the other ones that are just wrapping cannot cover. One of the main advantages is that, well, we have, for example, automotive case where they wanted to protect it to store the key in the phone, and they can open it. But then we have acceptance payment where they need to protect tokens, or they want for identity where they want to validate that when they issue identity, that phone in that moment is really fully trusted. And these are the different type of use cases where we are working. I don't know if that answers your question or...
Yes, so it is productized. You do have proprietary products that you are offering a product to your... Okay, perfect.
Indeed. Sorry.
Thank you.
Any more questions? We have time.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right, moving right along here. Our next startup is in the health sector. Leggett Health from Spain. Leggett Health has breakthrough AI software for next generation dermatology. Yeah, you heard that right. ChatGPT is going to look at your face. And it's going to tell you whether you have a problem. Probably it's a little more than that. But pitching for this startup is the COO, Tig McCarthy.
Hello, everybody. I'm really excited today because I'm going to talk about a specialty of AI that is very specific, which is computer vision. We're using computer vision so that any healthcare practitioner, only by using this, can perform with a performance that is equiparable to the best expert in dermatology. So you possibly know this case, which is Hugh Jackman. He's famously a patient of skin cancer, and he has raised a lot of awareness. And there's many celebrities suffering from these diseases, such as Kim Kardashian, who suffers from psoriasis. But I have a more personal case, which is my grandmother. So this is me testing a prototype of our early version. As just in the testing, I found out that she had skin cancer. And thanks to that, we were able to operate quickly and give us some really good more years of her life with us. And this is a problem because there's only 3 per 100,000 inhabitants, 3 dermatologists. That's not enough. Not enough for my grandmother, not enough for none of your grandmothers, nor yourselves. And this is a huge problem because this study says that 15% of the population suffers from skin diseases, but a later study says that more than half of the European population has complained from a skin disorder in the last year. So this is very much growing. And this results in whenever you need a specialist, whenever you need to go to the dermatologist, you can't. You have to wait. Today I was speaking with a hospital in which they have 600 days of waiting list for a specialist. And we solved this. How do we do it? We do it with computer vision. And to understand exactly how we do it, I want you to think, what makes a dermatologist special? What makes a specialist a specialist? Well, this is the question that we ask ourselves. And the first thing they can do is this. Looking at a picture and guessing what is the condition that this person has. Can you guess? Well, this is psoriasis. It's not so difficult. This is diagnosis. We do this with a performance equiparable to an expert. But we're not the only ones doing this. And this is not the scarce resource. Here's the problem. How much do they have? This is what we're doing with convolutional neural networks. And this is how we put the knowledge that is key, the knowledge that dermatologists have at the beginning of the health process for nurses and for GPs at their phones, because they don't have enough knowledge. Regarding the team, we're mostly technical, but we also have doctors who are shareholders in the company, founders of the company, experts in their diseases. And it's a solution that has everything you need for dermatological diseases for more than 200 conditions. And this is why we have already invoiced in such a short amount of time 300K of euros with 3 customer segments. You might recognize very large companies there. And we are raising a funding round from 4 million, out of which we already secured 2.5. So if you think this makes sense, if you're excited about this as we are, help us putting the key knowledge where it's most needed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Q&A.
Hi, thank you so much for the presentation. I was wondering how much of the technology is proprietary versus already using existing LLMs of the AI technology?
Very good question. The most integral part of our technology is the data set. So we use our public but also private sources. And this is very relevant for the severity measured part. So all of that is proprietary because the process to train those algorithms, especially the data set needed to generate it, is very, very specific. And we have developed that as part of our IP. We also have 2 patents in a very specific area of the measurement of the severity to standardized images with color and perspective. But I think this is going too deep on the answer, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I just have a question on pricing. How do you price a product like this?
Sure. I have to say I'm a big fan of yours. I've seen you many times speaking. So it's a software as a service. It's delivered both as an API that integrates into the clinical histories of the hospital, and that's the main way of using it. So the pricing is sort of pay-as-you-go that goes per patient or per diagnostic report. But usually hospitals pay for it yearly because that suits them better for their budgeting.
How do you deal with liability or misdiagnosis? And yes, I'm American, so we're always focused on that.
Yeah, no, good question indeed. So we're a medical device. This is a medical device, class 2A medical device. So we had to invest around 60K euros in 2 years in doing the clinical validations and so on. So it's certified, and that's how we can put it in the market. It's validated as a clinical decision support tool. So the idea is that you cannot go as a patient to the Apple Store and download it. You will need to use it under the supervision, indirect, but under the supervision of a doctor.
You answer my question.
Sure. Excellent. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you. Moving right along, this next startup is called Sastrify. They're from Germany. Sastrify is your one-stop shop for all SaaS subscriptions, meaning they handle the entire life cycle of a SaaS tool. Join me in welcoming the country manager for Spain, David Alonso.
Hi everyone, my name is David Alonso, and today I'm excited to show you how we have made buying software as easy as buying in Amazon. What makes most valuable companies so successful? Some of you might think is the marketing or the sales or even the product, but in the end, everything is based in two things. It's the people you hire and the software you buy. In 2011, famous investor Mark Andreessen said, software as a service is eating the world, and I think that 12 years later, we can all agree on that. But how does this look in the real life? On average, companies have more than 50 different software solutions that usually represent the second expense after the salaries. According to Gartner, there's a 2x growth expected for 2024 in Europe, and especially in Spain and LATAM, 4x. But where are the main pains here? I think most of you can relate with this situation where you have a necessity and you need to find a software solution like an CRM, ERP, or marketing software, and you go to the internet, you ask your colleagues, and there are thousands of different tools out there to cover your need. This usually requires a lot of time and a lot of effort. Speaking also about the price, nowadays, if you want to buy a ticket from, I don't know, Madrid to New York, you can go to Skyscanner and benchmark prices. If you're going to buy a hotel, you go to Booking.com or Airbnb, even Glassdoor for salaries. But when it comes to buying sales for Aircall, any other software solution, there's no way to know if the price you are currently paying is good or not. So how does Sastrify solve this? We have developed what we call agile software procurement. Basically, we gather all the information from the stakeholders, CFO, CTO, legal, IT manager, and we help you find the right tool at the right price. We don't stop there. We also centralize all the financial information in one tool, and we also help you with the renewals. We currently have more than 200 different clients. We have offices in Germany and New York, and we are able to save so much money to our clients that we are guaranteeing ROI positive in 100% of the scenarios. That means that we always save more money than we cost. And today or tomorrow, we are offering free evaluation for your SaaS stack, so feel free to pass by booth 17 to get it and meet the team. Thank you.
Q&A.
Congratulations. Which is your target of client?
Basically, any single company that has a high spend in SaaS. This means usually from 200 to 300K euros or dollars per year, the smallest clients, to several millions of euros, 20, 50 million euros per year to the biggest clients.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding more your customer acquisition. I feel like people with SaaS platforms, especially bigger ones, they're kind of set in their ways. So unless they're looking for a specific new tool, why come to you? So like, what is your into companies that are already happy with the platforms that are used? Like, are you recommending different platforms, or how do you deal with that kind of clients?
Well, it depends. Honestly, we don't like to enter in which tool is better. So let's say, with an example, if you are looking for a CRM and you have currently HubSpot, we will not tell you, okay, Salesforce is better or Pipedrive is better. We are going to find you the cheapest tool. We're going to go to Salesforce, get the price. We're going to go to HubSpot, get the price. And we can put you even in touch with clients that are currently using those tools. But in the end, the main decision of which tool is better for me, it's going to be taken by the client.
How you make your solution scalable, and in terms of client acquisition, which is your strategy?
Well, we have different strategies in place. Basically now, for example, in the south of Europe and LATAM is the market I can speak. Most of the clients that are coming are basically referrals from other prospects, other clients that have heard about us, are super happy with the results, and in the end, ROI positive is a, let's say, very strong slogan to bring clients. So yeah, that's our main strategy right now. there's another one.
I have two very quick ones, if I may.
Okay.
One is your payback period always usually within 12 months. They've earned back what they've spent on you. Is it usually how long does that take?
Exactly. For a 12-month contract, usually it's 12 months. Longer contracts, 24 months. 24 months.
Okay, that pays back what they've spent on the product. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in terms of finding new services for the business versus ones that they want to evaluate whether or not they've had a good deal and whether or not they're wasting money, how do you present new options versus, like, is it up to the company to say to you, we want an option in this space, go find us the best deal and the best options, having reviewed all of the...
Most of the deals we negotiate is usually current deals. Let's say companies that are already happy with their SaaS stack, but they just want to have it with a cheaper price or better conditions.
All right, we're out of time. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to education. This next startup is called Becas. It's from Spain. It's a one-stop shop that helps students pay for their tuition. Join me in welcoming the CEO, Bosco González del Valle.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. What do? We promote sustainable and quality education for everyone. How do we do this? By tearing down socioeconomic barriers to education. What's happening? In Europe, there are more than 5 million job vacancies, despite having 11 million people unemployed. Furthermore, by 2030, 30% of the global workforce will need to upskill or reskill in order to access to qualified jobs. What's the big problem? Students can't afford to pay for their tuition. They can't afford their training. So what's our solution? Simple. Study now, pay later. A platform designed for students and education providers, helping with financing, repayment, and course discovery. Our flagship, our core business, is the ISA, which stands for Income Sharing Agreement, where we pay the tuition from the students and they only pay us back when they have a job. Furthermore, we have our marketplace and our servicing, where in our marketplace online portal to promote courses from our partners and deliver education providers high quality leads, and our servicing, which is a key point where we manage financing repayments so education providers can focus on their expertise. Nothing of this could be done without our secret weapons, Cosmos and Custodia. We only provide financing to candidates which meet our employability criteria, and our technology tracks when they enter the labor market in real time. Our big focus is our Cosmos, which is our scoring. It's an in-house employability scoring system with student employability, willingness to pay, APIs to past financial behavior, open banking, and our Custodia, we're employment tracker and comprehensive payment solution. APIs to Social Security, automatic launch of monthly repayments and notifications once student is employed. It's obviously a massive growing underpenetrated market, okay, with a macroeconomic tailwind, which is reskilling up and upskilling, really famous nowadays of a big issue all around the world. Our initial focus is high employability bootcamps, but there's a blue ocean beyond bootcamps, like masters, MBAs, grants, professional training, very big market, big market. There's a trust, our competitors are trusted by top-tier investors like SoftBank, Silver Lake, Balderton, but no one, that's what we think, has the three components that we have of our ISA financing, servicing, and marketplace, all within each other. We have strong initial metrics. We've deployed more than 3 million euros in student financing with more than 50 schools and more than 600 students. More than 50% of the 3 million is gross margin, and we're growing also in our servicing and a marketplace. And obviously, nothing could be done with our rockstar team, which it's an interesting fact that lots of them have done employability bootcamps like Aaron Hack or Multiply College, which we work with them, and they're high employability students that we ourselves get them in the team. And that's the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, Bosco. Do you have any agreement with the financial institution, or you finance by yourself with equity all these payments?
Yeah, no, good question. We're an early startup within a year and a half and growing rapidly in debt. We finance ourselves with venture debt. We think it's the the best possibility. If it was equity, we would dilute like crazy, and we have two very, very good partners, and they give us the debt. It's a different SPV, and we finance with the debt, and we operate with the equity. We lend with the debt of the venture debts, not equity.
Which are the main conditions of this vehicle to finance the activity of the company?
Yeah, we have what it's called an equity. You mean of the SPVs of the venture debt, right?
The SPV.
The SPV, yeah. What we do is, we have a high finance interest, like an interest, and an equity kicker from the venture debt, which is like kind of percent that it's from the total of the money lended, which turns into equity also. It's a bit aggressive, but it's the only way to finance at the beginning until we show all of the traction that we're showing already, and then starting to get normal debt.
On the B2C side, what's the customer acquisition strategy?
Sorry?
On the B2C side, what's your customer acquisition strategy? How do you acquire customers?
Yeah, on the B2C side, we're growing very strong on SEO, on our search engine optimization, because the boot camps, education providers, etc., they do a lot of SEM, they pay a lot. And when people are starting to look at all of these education providers, we're appearing quite on the top. So it's a very organic base. We have 40 to 50,000 visits each month, and more than 100,000 students registered in our marketplace. So it's a nice way to also deliver value to the bootcamp.
But that's not paid acquisition.
No, we do a small amount of paid, but not significant. But yeah, it's more organic. We're doing on the organic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got 4 left. This next one is part of the category of Industry 5.0. It's called Auxilium, and it's from Spain. They develop smart labels for food monitoring through color change. Join me in welcoming the founder and COO, Luis Chimeno Moral.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Luis, and I'm one of the founders of Auxilium, a biotechnology company enabling you to understand your food. This that I have here is a piece of meat. It doesn't smell really bad, but the smell is neither good. Would you be able to tell me if it's good or bad? No. Most of us here would do the next thing. Food waste is caused mainly by the lack of information that we have about our product. In fact, this problem does not only affect consumers, it also affects our customers. Food producers and retailers that due to this lack of information frequently throw away food, they lose market opportunities, and they have extra costs due to the food alerts that they could not detect on time. But we have come to a solution. This is a smart label that once placed in direct contact with the product changes its color to indicate the status of the product based on its quality, freshness, and safety. With this technology, we solve all of these issues previously mentioned. We can actually reduce the food waste cost rated, we can improve profitability, and we can also improve quality control. Before proceeding, I would like to apply our technology to this piece of meat to show you what will be happening later. So, we sell this technology directly in a B2B model to our companies. These are some companies with whom we are talking. With some of them we are already working. We have 10 commercial agreements, we have 6 pilots, and we have 3 partnership agreements to enter into different regions in Europe, Asia, and America. But the main idea that I want to remind here is that Auxilium does not sell labels. Auxilium sells information. And information is very valuable for every industry, such as cosmetics, where understanding the expiry date of products could be very beneficial for the consumer, or the pharma industry, where understanding the degradation of the active principle could save billions of lives. This wouldn't be possible, of course, without the team behind, in which we complement different multidisciplinary experience in the technical, business, and commercials, as well as our advisory board with extended experience in the agri-food sector. Now let's go back to the technology. As we can see, the label changed to blue, indicating that the product is not safe for consumption. This is basically how our technology works. But this does not end here. In Auxilium, we aim to generate impact, and this is in our DNA. That's why in the social area, we can actually reduce the food poisonings, but also we can promote donations. Environmentally, we will be able to reduce the direct emissions of the food waste, and of course, in the economical side, we can help households to save money, we can help the industry to not only save costs, but also increase profitability, and something very important is that with our technology, we can enable a better food safety system in developing countries thanks to the low cost of our technology compared to the alternative ones. And we are here today because with your help, we can turn our vision into a reality and make of our technology a new standard, one that is more reliable, easy to use, and accessible to all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Can you expand a little bit more about your financials, sales, turnover, expectations, capital raised, etc.?
Yes. Actually, we are not yet in commercialization. We are already working on our go-to-market. Due to the food contact application, we need to go through different certifications in the food area. So we are starting with Latin America and also United States. Due to the FDA, is even quicker to enter into the market, and through the FDA, we will jump directly to Europe. For cosmetic and pharma industry, it's much more easier since we are not actually entering into any formulation from the product itself. We are now, we raised 1.5 million euros in the public fundings. Nowadays, we are also looking for some complementary fundings. And with these funds, we already expect to already be entering into this market, starting with the first customers selling in Latin America.
I'm going to take a look out of the US from the USA. What about liability? Because I assume, at least if I'm already imagining myself using it, because I just threw out some meats yesterday, there's an expiration date, right? So I assume I would be using it 2 days after the expiration date. What happens if I do get food poisoning or worse?
Yeah, the technology actually itself is considered as a complement. So we cannot go against the expiry date since it's a legal aspect. But what our technology is used is basically to get extra information because we use actually the metabolomics. So it's like a complement. And also it's we add the fact that after we are in a household, the expiration date once the package is open does not actually is not anymore a parameter. So our technology can also be considered as an extra tool to identify, but it's a complement, so it's extra information. It's not something that it's a legal aspect. So there is not some liability issue. I see a part of the actually like any plastic that is considered inside the technology.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I thought we were going to have a magician here, maybe. Okay, moving right along, this next category is mobility. The company is called Vialytics. It's from Germany. Now, Vialytics is an AI road management system. It helps cities with the maintenance of their roads. So imagine like a ChatGPT in the front of your car that, is looking out for holes and all bumps on the road and telling the authorities that the road needs to get fixed. I think it's a little more complicated than that. But join me in welcoming the founder of Vialytics, Danilo Jovicic Albrecht.
Hi, I'm Danilo, one of the co-founders of Vialytics. Join me on a journey. You're at home, you're about to leave your house, you open the door, and you stand in front of a road. Roads can be beautiful, they can be huge. They shape our public space, and they are very expensive. And there's a problem. For the last decades, the road quality has been decreasing. And there's a reason, because cities don't have data to find this sweet spot, where it makes sense to repair a road early with smaller measures. If there are cracks on the road surface, you have to fill it, to double the lifetime of your road. So with doubling the lifetime of the road, we spend a lot of money as a whole society and a lot of construction material, so the environmental impact is huge. How do we help the cities? We replace pen and paper and transfer the daily work into a modern digitized workplace. So we deliver an iPhone with our app. While driving around, for example, garbage trucks or street sweepers, they collect image data. And this image data is then transferred into our cloud, and there the magic happens. So here you can see our AI that detects single damages on the road. And we classify it, we deliver it into a beautiful user interface. It's a web tool. So they open this, and immediately they see green is good and red is bad. There's also some intelligence. Here you can see a road safety alert. Let's open this image. There's a pothole, and it should be filled. As a cyclist, when you fall down because of that pothole and you break your leg, the city can be sued and they have to pay. So we just help them to do all the planning, the measures, the smaller and the bigger measures. It helps them with their budgeting process. And yeah, it also works for bike lanes. So we work with more than 300 cities, from Prague to La Rochelle. Obviously, our core markets are Germany and France. And you can't see Spain here. So if you want to change this, talk to your mayor, talk to your town hall, and write me on LinkedIn. Very easy, Danilo, Jovicic, Albrecht. Yeah, thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much. So what's the sales process like with the Department of Transportation or the City Hall, etc., especially if you have to go city by city?
Yeah.
How long does it take, the sales cycle?
We do direct sales. So cities are approachable for us. They don't know about us mostly. So it's really great that they are so appreciative when we call them and tell them that we can change their daily work from pen and paper to a digital working place. And this is fun, I must tell you. So we're really we do a revolution at the town halls. And we have partner sales as well. 20% is from partner sales.
And how long does it take normally?
The sales cycle?
Yeah.
It's a few months, let's say 4 months in average for mid-sized municipalities, because we're affordable. So they can pay it within their existing budget.
Thank you.
Hello. In one of the cities that you are established, I assume that you are already selling. How much money have you saved for the municipality?
Yeah. So the ROI is, for example, for 40 years. And if our average municipality has 100 kilometers, it's an asset of up to 100 million. So in 40 years, they can save 50 million.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Only 2 to go. So our next one is on sustainability and ESGs. It's called Lumio. It's from Spain. And it's the first and only peer-to-peer electricity market platform for energy sharing. Imagine sharing your energy. And with us, join me in welcoming the CEO, Alexis Las Heras.
It may surprise you, but today I came to talk about my parents. Hello, I'm Alexis, co-founder of Lumio, and we have a very clear goal. We want a 100% sustainable planet. My father is this very kind of innovative guy. In the early 2000s, he was already buying Christmas gifts on the internet. Can you imagine? So 4 years ago, he took his electricity bill, and he saw he was paying a lot, and his consumption was not sustainable. So he decided to put solar panels. But then he started having a lot of energy surpluses with a very low remuneration. At the same time, my mother was running a small business, and she had the same problem, but she couldn't put solar panels. So I decided to help them. Who has never ever wanted to help their parents, right? So I said, why don't we take the energy surplus of my father and we give it to my mother, and we take the money of my mother and we give it to my father. That way, my father has an energy surplus well remunerated, meanwhile my mother has an affordable renewable consumption with traceability and transparency. This solution makes Lumio the first peer-to-peer energy platform. And we do something very different. We connect individuals so they can exchange and share their sustainable energy between them. But why do we do this differently? As I said, we have a very strong sustainable focus. And what we want is that people consume when there is solar production, so they have a sustainable impact and they lower their electricity bills. And our business model is quite simple. As a platform, we work as a marketplace and we earn 18 euros per megawatt hour. And you might ask yourselves, so this platform has to have a lot of solar owners, right? And that's how it works. So we decided to go and do the projects ourselves. We have done more than 500 projects for self-consumption, and this has allowed us to feed our platform with a lot of users. So right now we have more than 1,500 users with a very nice scalability, as you can see, and we are growing quite rapidly. This is my favorite slide. So our two main KPIs, as you can see, up to date we have had 4 million of revenues, and we have had a sustainable impact as removing 200 cars out of the traffic. Amazing, right? These have been recognized from media such as Forbes or Business Insider, among others. And last but not least, this fantastic team and myself wanted to remind you to keep sharing your good energy, not just in our platform, but also in life. Thank you very much.
Q&A.
Thank you very much. Can you please walk me through exactly how it works if I become a customer of yours as specifically as possible? So if I want to begin purchasing clean energy through this, walk me through the steps to do.
Sure. Right now you have two ways. First, you know who you want to share with your energy, and you just tells us with who do you want to share this energy and which price. So that's one way, and that's how we acquire customers, 2x2 or 3x3. And the second one is if you don't know with who you are going to share this energy, you just sell to us, Lumio, the energy, and we do it with our like cumulative surplus of energy, and we do it ourselves to the final customer. So that's the two ways that it works. Now we are implementing that you can directly buy to Daniel Perez at this price, but at the moment you have to do it, or you know him, or you buy it to us.
Okay, and how is the energy then exchanged subsequently?
So we access to the smart meters of each house, and we can read the energy surpluses and the consumption of each one, and we match those curves. So we can see when you consume from your partner and when you consume from the market.
I'm sorry, how is the energy itself exchanged if I'm purchasing the energy?
Through the electricity network. So we are an energy retailer, registered as energy retailer, as it's the only figure that can do that in the legislation regulation. Thank you.
Thank you. What are the regulatory barriers for you to get into other markets, and what are the other significant competitors across Europe that are doing the same?
So that's a very nice question. So let's say that the European Union shapes the regulatory market of each country, or something common, but it's true that each one has very different, or in the operative way. So we have this software that we can use for each country, but we have to do different implementation for each one. So that's the first one. And the second one, the competitors, we have like 3 or 4 in Europe that are not like a peer-to-peer market, but they tackle the same problem. So you have Van de Bron in Holland. So we do like micro PPAs. So they do mini PPAs, a bit bigger, like from bigger producers to small consumers. Then you have Reel in Denmark, that they do also something similar, from small production to small companies. And then you have Sonnen in Germany, that they do like a virtual community. It's not exactly the same, but it's a similar problem that they tackle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, and now for our last startup in the category of fintech. It's called Wealth. It's from Spain, and essentially they are a payment and billing automation system for any B2B billing scenarios. Join me in welcoming the co-founder and CEO, Maria Luque.
Hello, last one. My name is Mary. I'm the co-founder of Wealth. We are a billing and payment automation system for recurrent revenue businesses. 10% of revenue in digital companies goes to implementation and maintenance of their payments systems. Here you have an example of a customer of ours. The typical SaaS company, they implement Stripe because they think that it's cheaper and easier to use it. But when they start growing, they need to add more payment methods, they need to add more billing scenarios, multi-currencies, and so on. So they build a specific technical team to manage all that. That's why we have created Wealth, a billing and payment automation system for recurrent revenue businesses. Our product has 3 main pillars. 1, payments. We integrate different payment methods to allow our customers grow globally. Second one, automation. They can build any billing scenario without any technical cost. And third one, reconciliation. All the data in one place. The digital payments industry is huge. With Wealth, we are targeting recurrent revenue businesses with an opportunity of $300 billion market. Of course, we have competitors, since the opportunity is enormous, but the majority of them are building very technical products for the enterprise segment. Unlike them, we are focused on smaller companies where the intensity of the problem is even bigger and the risk of not solving it is death. Our business model is SaaS B2B based on the MRR of our customers. The bigger the revenue is, the higher is our rate. We've launched our product 1 year ago. We are now processing more than 5 million, and we are expecting to end the year making more than 80 million. We are former founders, and we have a high technical and fintech background team with us, ready to lead the European payments industry. We raised 1 million almost 2 years ago. We are now making an extension of 800K in order to get our product market fit. And we consider now the best moment to invest in a company like ours. And you know why? Because I guess that you couldn't allocate 10% of your money every single year in a totally unnecessary and very complex to implement and maintain payment system, right? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. To what extent are you offering or planning to eventually offer analytics to your clients based on, since you're capturing a lot of their payments information through the natural course of your product? Because that kind of information, especially for small and medium businesses, could prove very valuable as they look to scale their own company.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have a lot of data of how the companies are paying to our own customers. So we can provide a lot of data of who is going to pay you, how much of your revenue is on risk because they are not going to pay you, and so on. So now we are taking it in account and seeing what is valuable to our customers and what is not. And we will do things with data for sure.
Thank you so much, Maria. I'm wondering what's prevented a company like Chargebee to get into the SMB market?
Yeah, good question. No, I mean, they are serving also, but they are not coming that down. What we do different to Chargebee is that we integrate local payment processors because they don't, and it's very powerful when we have local customers that they need to operate with their own banks, and they are not able to do anything on top of the bank's payment processors. So we are helping them to work with their own banks. We can do it here in Spain, and we can do it also in a lot of countries in Europe, and we hope to make it also in the US, LATAM, and so on. But it is our main difference right now. And we will see. I mean, Chargebee is super big. They've been doing this for 10 years. We are doing this for 1 year. I try not to see what they are doing. I follow them, but not to see them, because otherwise we want to copy them, and we are not going to be focused in what is our customer's problem. So, I mean, not too much for now, but we will have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.